Welcome to the final game of this round on SRL TV. I'm Ollie Partey, joined by Ellie Oliver here for this final game of this round with North Queensland Cowboys taking on the Parramatta Eels. Eddie, it's good to be with you at last. This is going to be an absolutely exciting one, eh?
Yeah, indeed it will here, Ollie. And we've got two teams here who have both come off losses from last week. And both did have good moments in their games, but just didn't come away with the win for their side. It's going to be good to see how these teams turn out here today with some changes to their lineups. It's going to be good to see how they weld here together.
I don't actually think the Eels have gone with any changes, but the Cowboys have gone with a fair few. They brought Johnny Columbus starting side for this one. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how he does in this because, I mean, he is one of very few players, I think only one of four in the past 3 seasons who started in the third season of play to not have a try yet on his ledger. As Levi Raymond for the Eels will be getting us underway. Of course, we're also going to watch Brodie Kennedy. It'll be very exciting to watch as, of course, he is his 10 tries in 5 games and looks to potentially set a single season record here as Casey Namana takes the first run in this one. Goes over to Moana, now Kobe Johnston here. Eddie, as for you, are there any players that you're excited of seeing in this one?
Well, I think you've already said his name. Brodie Kennedy, what a player he is. And just talking about him there, Ollie, just his fitness and his ability to do what he does throughout an 80-minute performance. He might get quiet in times, but I don't think he's fatigued here, Ollie. And just how he handles himself in training and just coming out into a game and just constantly performing week in, week out. What a player he's coming out to be here for the Eels.
Yeah, and we'll look forward to seeing him get a few more touches of the football as Kieran Wells, who's gone into the halfback position for this game, will kick down to the wing of Thomas Mendonca. And he's brought down there. Not getting much of a kick return. Of course, we have kind of talked about how previously they've been seen as a one-man team. We did see the score from Michael Crimp. That was a very exciting one when he got that runaway try. Of course, it didn't lead to a victory as Kennedy there gets one right into him, I think, from Chris Lord. That one will leave a mark as Russell swings it out. Trying to get clear, but nothing doing on that occasion. They go short side right here with Marshall, but Cowboys defense holding very firm here early on as now they go to nearly the 40. Settendale will put the kick in. It's right down the corridor. Amatangi makes a nice running grab there. And I feel like this is a good start, really, for North Queensland. Not really letting the Eels get anything flowing here in attack.
No, yeah, very good stuff there. Is Chris Lord, the captain, going for a run. That tackle back there in the Eels half there on Kennedy just sort of stopped that set there and stopped any momentum that they had. The pace here takes a run up to the Eels 40, and they're in the Eels half here, the Cowboys.
Yeah, they're making good progress thus far as Kobe Johnson there takes the run. Again, a bit of a shuffling there as well. We had Chris Lord in the front row last time up, and he's gone back into the lock forward position, his natural position, and continuing on down there on the last. Might honestly only be a punting opportunity here for Moana. Let's see what he does here. Does opt for that. It's a bit of a short one. Oh, but it's misread. And I think might have just gone into touch rather than touching goal there. That was very interesting there from Michael Crimp.
Yeah, it was. We've got a replay here of that kick. The winger there for the Eels just misjudged his run up there to take the ball and just went into touch there, though. Well-placed kicker, and they're going to start off the set 10 here. The Eels.
Yeah, well, I mean, they do get a bit more of an advantage, but perhaps he just thought maybe that's been a bit too much weight on it. Could just be touch and goal and end up just trying to let it go, and well, perhaps just didn't pay off for him on that occasion as Marshall will take this run up on the third and unwell to get up that far. It's very interesting to me as well, Jordan Marshall, because a lot of people were questioning what the future's going to be, but after Blake Harris had basically arguably run himself out of that halfback position as McKay makes a drop there. First touch of a ball there for Christian McKay. We always look forward to seeing those rookie second rows. They've seen quite a few of them doing well. Not on that occasion. McKay making a costly error and allows Cowboys some territory. Just quickly on the aforementioned... I'm losing my train of thought there, actually. Lord taking that run, so I guess I'll just hold the horse now. Here's Namana breaking through here, trying to challenge Kennedy. Gets an offload away, going for Moana. Moana is stuffed. Just
Beautiful
barely there by
there
Levi Raymond. That's a short one here for Chris Lord. Chris Lord might end up getting down here. No, they get the men around the legs, and we'll be able to hold him up in goal here.
Well, Klein's going to the bunker here. Interesting. It's going up as no try. We're just going to have a replay here.
There. I
Yeah,
think
turned
Kennedy,
onto his back there.
Yep, Kennedy
We'll have red lights here. No try there. And they're going to go back to it here, the Cowboys. Last tackle.
Yeah, might be a grubber play here for Moana, and it is. And no, it's just short of the line. He tries to go for the full-on dive collect, but he's just a bit short on that occasion. And now an opportunity here for Parramatta as they survive a scab. Nama just being half a metre out.
Yeah, no, definitely there. And he used all of his length that he had there, the big forward. Getting driven back here. Sendag, my apologies for the pronunciation. It's going left here, the Eels, and they're out of trouble there. Good stuff there from the Eels. Good scramble.
Yeah, they were really scrambling in defence there as... Yeah, I was mentioning Jordan Marshall. After Blake Harris had basically run himself out of the full-on halfback position, Jordan Marshall has been named with a full-time 7 jersey and seems like he's had a decent level of success, though Cherry Evans has definitely been one of the prime performers as he puts that kick in, trying to find that left sideline. Aramatangi does get back there and is able to make a step. All that goes out, or he runs himself out. I've seen quite a few of those plays, both in the SRL and in the minds of they just not reading the sidelines well enough. As Maxwell tries a little short run down the flank, but is quickly stopped. Aramatangi there, another step right through the line. Will cross midfield as he takes on Kennedy. They look to spread it to the left side of the park. Wells finds Lord. Lord does break a tackle there on Luke Short. Captain breaking captain, but his offload is floating forward, intending for Kobe Johnston.
Yeah, and they're just pushing the pass too many. And they're going to give the Eels a very early opportunity here. It's only going to be first tackle, and they're about to come over halfway, the Eels. So, very good opportunity here for them. It's Freeburn there. Just gets over the halfway.
Now, it's a good push from the start of them as... Why do you want to start your set? Great offload. Finds Jordan Ford, breaking right through. We get about a quarter of a way remaining, I think. Yeah, about a 25 out from the line. Evans will flick over to Kennedy, rather. Losing my grasp on the English lexicon as Marshall plays it there now, about 18 out. Flat ball there for Ford. Ford with a lot of breathing space, and Settendag is forced back there by Amatangi. A lot of plays available here. Maybe looking high bomb right side. No, it goes left side instead for Evans, but it is the high bomb towards the right side of the park. Well weighted there. Moscow underneath it. Farah drives in back in goal. And a great stop there allows North Queensland, well, no reprieve really. The line drop in here to be taken by Wells.
Yeah, no, beautiful stuff there from the Eels. The kick was perfectly placed, so Moscow had to take it in the field of play. And they just made Moscow there make the first move for the Cowboys, and they just drove him in goal. Beautiful stuff there. And the Eels, they're going to get another opportunity here. They need to use it well. It's Ford here. Gets their team up to 35 out from the Cowboys line.
Yeah, it was a great start to this set, and they continue to push through now with McKay. Okay, about 27 out from the line. Ford will look to go left side here with Mendonca, but great work there to Tara Maxwell. Getting up there to make the stop. Evans over to McKay. McKay here. Can he get it? No, he's met by 2 defenders and is eventually forced back. But a great line break from Christian McKay. Can he set them up for something? Evans, grab a kick. Either for the man. No, this time Kobe Johnston comes away with it before. I don't think even it was Kennedy that nearly got there. I think it was Marshall. It was. But nearly ended up getting his hands on the football to dive over. But unfortunately wasn't the case. And Kobe Johnston helped them survive a scare. Does briefly get through the line there before Farah brings him down. But you know how quickly they pounced on him early. The pin was back, but now Amatangi breaking free here has Mendonca and Freeburn all coming back here in support. Kennedy ends up being the one to make the tackle, though. They'll look to get right side of a bit of out-of-position players, but Wells is the one that has to be tackled, and it does mean the primary kicking option is taken away here, so they go to Columbus instead. Columbus, a very nice crossfield punt there, but there might be a gap for Crimp here. Crimp, Almatangi, what an ankle tap. Just barely got him down. Moscow nearly forced him out of play as well. Cowboys nearly made a huge rescue play on that occasion, but we're not done yet. Marshall breaking through again. Just barely brought down there, I think, by Thomas Wallace. Never having to again flood back in defense as they spread it to the left side to Evans via Russell. But a three-man tackle there. North Queensland are really trying to gather them, stop them in their tracks. McKay quickly out to Mendonca. Did get by Maxwell, but couldn't break the tackle of, I believe, Columbus out there on that edge. Freeburn goes out to McKay now. McKay again with a solid run. Will get down to the 10 before it's brought down there by Calcicow. Played there for Raymond. Raymond back to Evans. Evans the high ball. This is looking dangerous. It's nearly off the bar. McKay will be tackled at his feet in the field of play. Repeats it once again.
Oh, exactly the same kick again, just in a different spot on the field. Beautiful stuff there from the Eels. And it looks like, Brody Kennedy hasn't actually injected himself into this game yet, Ollie. It's been everybody else but him for the Eels. It's going to be interesting to see if they can get that class that Brody Kennedy has and just get himself injected into the game here.
Well, I mean, I feel like we're kind of saw that similar path for him to take back when they played South Sydney. He didn't really show himself early on, but eventually he was able to be found for a couple of tries, a grab a play, and then just a nice backpack as well, I believe. So just waiting to see him. I mean, you don't want to overuse him. You can try relying on other players, but you might not need him for this one. They might take two due to this held in tackle penalty, and it will be the option there for Luke Short. Let's take him for 3 points here in this regard.
Yeah, interesting stuff there to take the two there from the captain. They've had plenty of chances here on the Cowboys line, but the Cowboys have just been turning up for each other and just always being where the ball is and just having plenty of players around it. Interesting choice. It could pay dividends later on. You never know. The Cowboys could fire out here in this defensive set here. Anything could happen here.
Yeah, that's what's quite interesting to me as well. I feel like maybe it was just, okay, well, we've kind of had them on the ropes. Our sets have been good. Let's just get some points out of it and get ourselves a repeat set with an extra little bit of points to our name. And it'll be very interesting to see how that affects margins as well. I know a lot of players will be looking forward to perhaps how their predictions went for this game. And we do have a few players that are very, very close to earning that upgrade package. That'll be something that we do have to look forward to. But perhaps I'm getting a bit too meta in this scenario as McKay again making a strong run past his own 30. Look to go for the center of the park here with Ford before it's brought down there by Wallace. We got Raymond to Marshall and Kennedy. Here he goes, trying to get through there, but with a good tackle there, I believe, by Moana on that edge. Now they'll get Marshall to kick. Was from outside the 40, so they can willingly let this go and do. There's some good spatial awareness there from the Cowboys to make sure that that one didn't go too awry.
Yeah, definitely good stuff there. Even though he was outside the 40 there, still a very good kick from him. Just, playing that field position and just making sure to keep the Cowboys in their own corner here. They're only 10 meters out of their own line, and the Eels, they need to put in a good defensive set because the Cowboys can score from anywhere.
Yeah, we've known that for certain, especially off kick return. So perhaps Marshall just wanted to avoid that completely as Cameron Hodgson injecting himself into the game early on here, making a solid run and already up to the 45 here on tackle 2. Hodgson usually not put in that front row position, but has been done so here with a 14 jersey. So he's definitely found himself in a nice little niche, at least for this game so far. Moana with an inside ball to Lord. The leadership group linking up, but Lord was quickly stuffed there. Wallace will fire out to Johnston. Johnston trying to take on Farah, but nothing going there. Aside from that line break that we saw from Hodgson, really a strong defensive set from the Eels. Wallace will fire out to Moana, who makes the kick towards the wing of Mendonca. This time is waiting underneath it well and is met in a hefty tackle there. Once more, Parramatta are going to have to work their way out of their own red zone.
Beautiful kick there from Moana, and Raymond there trying to get some spark into this Eels attack, fending away a player. And a beautiful kick chase there from the Cowboys as they're looking a bit of a switch play here. And we've got an intercept here from the forward.
Yeah, great intercept there from the rookie Analdo Takuri. Been a player that a lot of people have been looking forward to. It's one of the few players that did leave the Warriors at the end of last season. Of course, they did also lose Logan Strange. As Wallace flies out to Moana. Quick short side right here. Cam Hodgson trying to get himself over there on that edge. Been a perfect time to do it, but couldn't quite get through that time. Moscow out to Moana. Moana will be met in a two-man tackle and upturned. Line will look again, but this one seems safe to try to me.
Going to the bunker up again here, Ashley. Rolled over onto his back there, just over the line there. Moana, I believe. We're going to have red lights here again. They need to watch out here, the Eels. Grab a kick, anything could be on.
Yeah, Settendag and Logan Schmidt both were upturned in there, but it's only took me tackle 4, so they'll have a chance to spread it out and likely get a play from wherever they stand. Chris Lord there, tackled by McDonald. Wallace will fire short to Moana. There's a grabber kick in there for Logan Schmidt. Logan Schmidt dives on it before, I think it was a player in the pink boots there, Cam Holzer, but tried to get on there, but couldn't do so. Again, Parramatta escaping. McDonald now quickly through a hole. Gets an offload away there for Settendag. Sorry to cut you off there, Reddy, before you were able to even start a thought, really. But early on, the Eels are looking to perhaps try and break through.
Yeah, no, they definitely are there, and they got themselves out of their own end pretty easily there, the Eels. The Cowboys wouldn't be happy with that, just giving away easy field position. As Farah here, beautiful run here from him, and the Eels are in the Cowboys half here with 4th tackle.
Yeah, they're already pushing through here, and Schmidt again trying to take advantage of Wallace, who wasn't square. That just ends up being tackled where he stood. There's a long run from Marshall. Might actually been Lord Veres. That cross-field ball finds a Tara Maxwell, and Maxwell nearly tearing his way through, but couldn't sidestep Kennedy. Was probably gone. Had been able to make him miss, but last line of defense holds firm once more. He has to retreat now as Cow tries to get through the tackle of McDonald to no avail. Wallace over to Wells. Now Hodgson. Quick offload away. Wallace again. Well, might have been touched there, but no, just a referee confirming tackle free for Wallace as they got McDonald to hold him down. Wells over to Johnston, tries to take on Farrer and Schmidt, but again just brought down quickly. Plus over to Moana. They go short side here. Ahmed Tangi trying to get through another tackle after he sidestepped one. A good strong stop there by Marshall. Cambolo into dummy half. Now Moana again the crossfield kick. Looking for Mendonca. Finds him and picks him out. And another strong tackle there. They're really not allowing Mendonca many kick return meters.
Yeah, no, they're not here. And they're just constantly kicking him to him. Just getting the ball downfield and getting in that, that position of the left-hand side of the field. And then just that crossfield kick over to Mendonca. Just not giving him any room there. The kick chasers. If they can keep that up all game, they're going to be looking good here, the Cowboys.
Yeah, how they just avoiding Michael Crimp, who did score that runaway kick return try last week. Stopping the kicker to the 2 rather than the 5. As Raymond lays out to Evans. And now Settendag. We saw him just taking on Lord there and getting some strong post-contact meters. Does so again that time. Raymond will flick it long back for Evans. Evans the kick from just inside halfway. He'll kick down to the wing of Maxwell. Maxwell has plenty of breathing space to try and make a run here. Try to get in field there on Kennedy. Stop Mendonca. About 36 out from below, but free in touch. Cow now breaking free here. Kennedy's going to have to try and get over there. Risky offload from Cow. And probably could have had more meters had he just taken the tackle, but he'll look to get to Wallace.
Good tackle.
Now that's a very strong tackle. Exactly what you needed from Raymond. Great leading by example there. Wells out to Amatangi. Long run down the sideline for Maxwell. Nearly had his feet out of play when he received the ball, but was smart enough to cut it in field and not let them try and bring him out into touch. Curry takes a shot there by McDonald, and McKay tries to line up a little post-contact drive at the end there after the McDonald shot, but instead got the offload out to Wallace and probably would have just got him more meters if he just kept the hands on him. Wells, good grubber kick there. Tries to find ran through, but Kennedy ran onward and does end up escaping out of his own 10. And early on, it has been a very strong defensive set here from both of these sides. Only for 2 points thus far in 31 minutes played.
Yeah, no, definitely there, Ollie. And just both teams have just been constantly working away and grinding at each other here. Nothing, too special, just being conservative. As Kennedy, he is looking for something. But both teams here, as you said, they're just very good defensively. And it's sort of like we're just waiting to see who's going to crack first here, Ollie. As that's a very good kick there from Marshall.
Yeah, Marshall again looking for the 4th tackle kick, and has been a very strong option for him. Amatangi again breaks through the first line of kick chasers, but the second line is Kennedy, and Kennedy will shut it down. Also over to Curry. And there's a strong tackle once more. That time, Settendag and Schmidt both combining. Wells over to Lord. Lord tries to tag on McKay, and met by 3 players there. McDonald and Cherry Evans all assisting on that one. Curry now for Hodgson, the 2 bench players that have come on here, trying to make something happen, but only just able to infringe into Eels territory. Moana out for Moscow. Moscow trying to get through there. He's going to be tackled about 35 out from the Eels line.
Need a good kick here.
Yep, it'll be Wallace to put for kick in, and it's a pretty strong one down for Kennedy. Kennedy will break with the first line. It's Tangy. There he goes. It's going to be 11. I think this ties the record. Brodie Kennedy has done it again.
Brodie Kennedy there, just finally deciding to inject himself here in this game and make his mark. 34 minutes in, and it's off a kick return. That's where he shines here in the SRL Premiership. And he's gotten the first try of this game here against the Cowboys. Just got around Alamatangi there at the back. And he has gone for all money. Nobody was within Kui of him. And Levi Raymond here is going to convert and get them 8 up.
We can confirm from our statisticians that ties the record for the most tries in an SRL season. Brodie Kennedy with his 11th.
Congratulations there, Brodie Kennedy.
And a great kick there by Raymond as well. Probably more in celebration than anything else. Just absolutely pushing one into the stands there as it's an 8-0 lead. And I mean, you said they needed a good kick just before it happened. And perhaps that's commentator's curse there with Wallace just picking out Kennedy. And just, there was no real solid kick chase there to try and slow him down. And as a result, it ends up being a quick try conceded by Parramatta. Also by North Queensland, scored by Parramatta. As Kennedy just simply went coast to coast on that one. And it'll be Logan Schmidt there to take the first run of that set. And I think get the front rowers working here with him and McDonald for the first 2 tackles. Both have been decently impactful thus far, especially in defence, as McKay there gets a little bit of his shoulders past the line, but is eventually brought to ground on tackle 3. Evans over to McDonald. McDonald does get him through Wallace, but Lord ends up getting the arms wrapped, and more than that. Kay again taking his second hit up of that set, and again it's a few players that are having to engage. Raymond will go basically directly back there for Cherry Evans, who gets it off the left side of a boot that has a lot of roll to it. Maxwell ends up just deciding to take it in field and does run it up, and he's tackled about 9 out from his own line. Perhaps he had a little bit more time there, but maybe he just got spooked because he couldn't really look behind himself in case it got away from him. Wells, great work to find Kazza. Does get Raymond completely flattening at air, but it was good work there by Jordan Marshall there, who got back to make the stop. Balls to Moana. They'll spread it wide here for Takuri. A little inside ball there for Lord, but was read well. Just a little bit of territory conceded there by North Queensland, trying that offload. Wells takes a hit up himself there, going against McKay, and will probably be regretting that one when he wakes up the next morning. Columbus fires out for Maxwell, trying to get by Mendonca. Nearly had the step on him, but Mendonca got the arms wrapped around as North Queensland will make their final little bit of interchanging, trying to get their starting forwards back on to hold firm in defence after their brief stint. As Kennedy there will take a run, and now he's going to look to go outfield. Ooh, he nearly got himself run out of touch there, but again, a good stop there by Amatangi, but it's kind of hold neutral in that battle. As Ford plays it just outside his own 40. Evans out to Kennedy. Kennedy's quickly met there. Feels like there might have just been a target placed on his back there by Stace-to-Pace, I believe that is. It's Marshall, inside ball there for Settendarg. And just slow meterage right now, but are getting closer and closer. Short there. He'll take the final run for the Eels quite likely, unless there is a grave error here from North Queensland. I don't expect there to be, though. Raymond out to Marshall. Marshall the kicked down to the wing of Moscow. Moscow might have good running tackle. Room, and a good stop there. That will likely see us to the end of the first half, which is the Eels lead the Cowboys here 8-0 as we go to a break.
Shake, come over here, now scream.
And welcome back to the second half of this encounter between the North Queensland Cowboys and the Parramatta Eels. Ollie Parche and Eddie Oliver with you, the Ollie connection. And Eddie, it has been a very interesting first half that we've seen thus far. Probably the most offensive that we've seen probably all season.
Yeah, definitely here. Both teams just really aren't looking to perform as a whole, and the one try only came from an individual effort from Brodie Kennedy, who has, clocked the most tries in an SRL season. But both teams here hopefully coming out, they're wanting to just start working more together in the halves. For the Cowboys, Hugh Snow is coming in, so maybe he'll be able to spark something for the Cowboys here. And moving on to the Eels, they just need to continue from where they came off, because they're making line breaks everywhere, all over the field, and they just need to start completing down the red zone.
Yeah, it's been great work thus far from Christian McKay there. There's Kennedy. He is making another one of those line breaks that he's brought down there by the aforementioned Hugh Snow. So both getting involved. Of course, Brodie Kennedy was, I believe, leading all players in run meters, and he was followed by Tal Amatangi. So it's definitely been a game of fullbacks thus far, and I feel like that's probably to be expected given how the teams have been rating themselves. As Evans with a great kick down about a couple meters there for Amatangi. He breaks through one tackle. Eventually is going to be taken down there, though. Good stop by Raymond. Wallace will look to the inside here with Snow, spreading it wide here for Moana. He ends up taking a run there, and I believe Justin Barisic, who's come on there, as well as Jason Farah. Lord out to Cambolo. Bunty ended up being there. Back there on the right edge. Moscow out for Lord. Lord quickly out to the pace. The pace now breaking through here. He only had 2 runs at the start of the half. Does get a quick offload out for Chris Lord here. Lord might be through, but it's great defensive work there by Jordan Marshall again to get back and make a stop. Wallace out for Moana. They might be able to break through here. They try it with Formsley, but McDonald is there. With the help of McKay, brings it down about 10 out from the line. Probably looking bomb option here. Goes to Moana. Goes Grubber instead. It's quickly out there. It was nearly dove upon, but it ends up being Amatangi that missed it. It was taken up by Marshall again. Jordan Marshall has been exceptional in terms of his play, I feel.
Yeah, definitely he has. There's a line break here from Barisic. Good stuff here from him coming off the bench. McKay gets offloaded to the Eels here. They just need to keep working on the Cowboys. And the Cowboys, they need to go back to what I reckon they were doing in the first half, kicking the ball, down to McDade, and just forcing him to make those runs out, because as soon as they kicked Brodie Kennedy...
in the mines. I don't know.
My apologies.
I think you mean Mendonca. There we go.
Kicking it down there to Mendonca. I've already done 2 mines game this week, but I'm kicking it down there to Mendonca, and just they need to keep kicking down there to him. To Terra Maxwell here, gets around 1. That's a good return there from him. My apologies there, Ollie.
Yeah, no, that's all right. These things happen. Yeah, Mendonca has been quite stifled there, but Maxwell thus far has had a little bit of shock to his systems. Well, shock to the Eels systems, no pun intended. And he's really tried to threaten, but he hasn't been able to break through like we've seen him do in games past. As here's Snow. He ends up taking a 1-up run there, but strong tackling there by McKay. I believe Evans involved as well. Goes over to Columbus. Columbus firing across there for Amatangi, but look at Farah getting across, just immediately snuffing him out. It feels like we've had a couple of players there that have just been acting as spotlights to stop the fullbacks from doing anything. It's Moana, hefty crossfield kick there. This time he looked to Crimp though. Crimp does have a good step on him, but he might be too close to the line here. Amatangi is going to force him out with the help of Cambolo. A great defensive play.
Yeah, beautiful stuff there from the Cowboys, just using the sideline there as the Eels' worst enemy. And it was a beautiful kick there as well. Not down to Brodie Kennedy by Moana, I believe.
Yep.
And he's just playing with fire there, the Michael Crimp.
Yeah, Moscow ended up just kind of missing the tackle and let Cambolo, the stronger player, end up dragging his legs out over the sideline. So perhaps some cerebral work at play there from Luka Moscow, the former Broncos winger who had moved to North Queensland. It's kind of given their backline a hefty shake-up as Lord he ran through Raymond, and McDonald said, no, you don't do that to my hooker. Moana quickly out to Cambolo now. What an exchange. I mean, it was one player when the big together and basically done mutual short distance. Not on that occasion. Ends up being one player went down and then one soon after. Snow with that run there on tackle 4. They look short side here. Columbus trying to look for his first SRL try. Cannot get through there. And is tackled right on the 10-meter arrow. Wallace firing out for Lord. There wasn't a half available. And it ends up just being Lord who tries to take a run up, but is tackled 5 short.
There wasn't the option there for the Cowboys. There's just no organisation. Good ball here to Barisic. He just gets his team out of that danger zone here. The Eels, they're just getting through this Cowboys defense and just getting themselves out of that danger zone that the Cowboys try to put them into here. Beautiful stuff.
Yeah, they've been working very well in terms of that, as Evans will look left side here for McDonald. Yeah, it's been solid from the Eels thus far. They've been a surprise packet, I would say, this season. A lot of people were projecting them for the wooden spoon, but Brodie Kennedy has provided something of an ascendancy to them. Solid defense in the back, and the greatest try-scoring weapon the SRL perhaps has ever seen, though that time he is quickly stuffed out there by Chris Lord. As Raymond fires over to Marshall. Marshall, the long kick out towards the wing there of Maxwell once again, but Maxwell has a lot of space. Kennedy's going to try to here to get across and dunk. Again, we mentioned the defense of Parramatta just coming to their aid once again, though. Now the Cowboys finally getting a set that starts Neil's territory, and it's Walmsley who's forcing Kennedy out the other way, gets an offload out to Lord, the ankle tap from Kennedy, McDonald dives on him, the tackle 2 is already 12 metres out, a chance to mount an assault on the goal line. Calcical, though, quickly forced back there in the tackle. McDonald was a secondary man in that one, and Evans a primary. Now over to Moana there, brought down there by Farah. Eventually, after Moana gets his legs pumping, Wallace, short side, Johnston, Moscow was just over the line, but couldn't get the ball to ground, and it ended up being Alistair Russell, I think, on that edge, but forced him back. Cambolo fires out for Wallace a grubber, Matangi working against Barisic. Can they hold him short of the line? They can! Oh, great stop there. It was Barisic, and I think it might have been Blake Harris that ended up making the stop.
Beautiful stuff there from the Eels, and Brodie Kennedy is just everywhere. He came all the way from the other side of the field there to stop Terra Maxwell going a long-range field effort, and then again coming back for the ankle tap. Just he's all over the place here. Kennedy is Barisic again coming off the bench here, starting the second half. These beautiful runs here from the forward.
Yep, I mean that's what you need out of a lot of your players. You just need scintillating runs from your bench forwards, and we're definitely seeing that with Barisic. Has proven that a couple of times in the season. As here goes Harris now. He goes through. He ends up flicking one over to McKay. McKay will basically be tackled right where Harris was, but a little bit closer to the numbers. McKay will play up there. Raymond goes out there for Evans, and the high ball of waiting underneath of there is Maxwell again. Maxwell bursts through. Can he get by Kennedy? Not this time, but Kennedy didn't have the angle to try and take him towards the sideline, but at least does quell the kick return for now. Here's Matangi trying to get by McKay, and does, but the other McDonald is there to make the stop. Pace now. The pace trying to take him on, but no avail. Raymond is eventually there to bring him to ground one-on-one, Wallace, the mistake. Tried to fire one out to Chris Lord, and ends up just firing it just a touch far forward. Evans, great little inside ball play there for Harris. Ends up trying to run through, and Amatangi eventually does get him, but might have been able to win a penalty there. McKay, short side, Mendonca again. He ends up trying to get one of those close runs, but that time is shut down there by, I believe, Columbus. Free burn over to Harris. Long ball out McDonald. McDonald forces his way by one. Gets an offload out. Cherry Evans is one-on-one. Can he get himself down? No, Calcical was helped out by Lord, and is just barely held up in goal. It had to be Chris Lord there, who was just able to get the legs to try and turn the hips around, make sure that he couldn't end up getting that ball down. Marshall there plays it right on the 10 for tackle 4. Spread right side, out for Kennedy, but that time is forced back. Last tackle now, about 9.5 out, you'd say. Raymond will quickly fire one back for Harris. He fires across for Marshall. Harris didn't want the smoke, I guess. Marshall puts up a bumper free burn, but is going to be brought down there. Wasn't in any kind of try-scoring position. And that will be a hand over to North Queensland.
Yeah, no, definitely. As you said there, Ollie, is Walmsley. Beautiful stuff run there from him. Not in any attacking try-scoring position there from the Eels. The kick was a bit shallow, landed about 5-6 metres out. Would have wanted to be a bit closer. And just beautiful scramble there from the Cowboys. And as they're making their own way out of their own end here, it goes to the DePace, who gets their team up to the 40.
Yeah, very interesting there as well. Maybe Freeman didn't have a communication of it. Perhaps they wanted a back play for Kennedy there to perhaps break the record, and This ended up being one of those flat balls. Oh, that one, that was
6
touched.
more.
Yep, it was touched there. I'm not sure by whom, but Houston ended up receiving that ball off the hand of an Eel and was ruled played at. So ends up being 6 more tackles there. And it's basically going to be a 10 tackle set that Parramatta have to defend. This is going to be a real test of strength here. If they can continue to fire up in defense, and they do again there with Farah on that occasion, forcing Kobe Johnston back. Here's the pace though, straight through the middle of Harrison Raymond, and Kennedy has to get it back there. Okay, helps out Kennedy, but Kennedy was holding down far too long. And Hugh Snow will be the one to try and take the goal kick here.
Interesting call there from Chris Lord, trying to replicate what Eels did in the first half, going for the 2 points. Well, there still is 20 minutes left, and there's probably a smart play as they are 8 down. They're wanting to bring it within that converted try to tie it up. I reckon that's a good call there from the captain. Yeah, 15 out right in front, though. I mean, you saw it happen before there that, you know, it was 2 points and then a runaway try for a fullback. So spotlight Tyler Almatangi now. We'll see if he can create another play similar to what Kennedy did to tie the SRL try-scoring single-season record. Well, there was mentions of whether he can end up catching Eli Barnes to hold the all-time record. I believe now that would put him free back, not counting the game most recently played here. It's Kasikow breaking free there. Communication there in the Eels defense, perhaps no one is getting over there to try and make a tackle as Kennedy was brought down there. Cowboys make a set of changes as Johnston there breaking through, and Kennedy again has to get back for the ankle tap. Raymond quickly on him to get the tackle complete as Law goes out to Wells. Wells will inject himself into the front row. Not sure who else will be in that front row position as Johnston barely got it out there to Moana. Tackle there right on the 30. Wallace out for Cambolo. Now for Wells down the left flank. Wells will play there, about 21 out from the line. Cambolo's to Moana. Moana does get a grubber kick forward. Kennedy, though, he nearly forced his way through, but the hit there for Wells looked like it shook our cameras a bit there. So hopefully that's not seismic activity and it was just the shot put on. Yeah, no, definitely not. They're very dangerous there from the Cowboys. They just left a little space here as Harris straight through the line, wrapped up there by Almatangi at the back. And again, oh no, they've just let the Eels into their own half here. They don't need this, the Cowboys. I feel like that was more of a tactical penalty there from Almatangi after the Harris line break. Perhaps he just realized they were on their haunches, that they needed to slow the game down. Perhaps one of their players might be ailing and we just thought, all right, let's take a penalty here, take some time to refresh, and we can still hold them out for 5 more tackles. It was only tackle free there, so it's not like you're having to defend everything. They go again here with McKay. First run there. Kennedy trying to get through, but it's a good, strong tackle there. Snow getting involved. Defense as Evans fires out to McDonald. McDonald nearly through there, but it's Wallace. Got over to make the stop. Played for Raymond, now Marshall firing over Kennedy, now Crimp with a bit of space, but not quite getting through there. Let's allow for Harris, now Farah. Last defensive set will see off Blake Harris quite likely, as he did come on in lieu of Attila Settendag. Raymond, short ball there. Harris will take a run himself and should eventually brought down as there by Law. Yeah, no, the Eels here looking to back their defense, and Johnston there, look at that, just driving the Cowboys back here. They're stuck in the red zone here, the Cowboys, and they need to work their way out. It's that man, Almatangi. Almatangi does just that, and Lord, he runs over Raymond. Oh, it was held there, I think. He just shook a player off there and just played the ball. That was strange. I'm not going to question it, though. I mean, whatever he needs to do, as Lord will now be dashing off the field here. The final play that he makes is a play the ball when I don't think the tackle was complete. Well, whatever. Here's Moana now to Moscow. Moscow down the left edge. Nearly, well, that was actually crossed for 20 there, rather. That was a good set there from the Cowboys. Yep, and a chance perhaps for a kick there to pace. Oh, he put it into one of his... Oh, he didn't actually got a foot on it, rather, and ended up being forward that, well, no, short, rather, that recovered it. He's going to run across there, and Jordan Ford has also come on there.
Now that the Eels have possession and can freely make an interchange. Okay, brought down. About 43 out from his own line. Evans over to Marshall. Quick spread play here for Kennedy. Nearly through. Actually is through there. The tackle of, I believe that was Cambolo, but defense came over. Made another stop. Crimp. Nice little block play there for Russell, setting him up. And short now with a lot of space. Oh, it's good chase down work there, though.
Need to hold on here, the Cowboys.
No, I believe it was from Wormsley. As Raymond fires out to McKay. McKay takes on to pace, but they're able to get down about 8 short of a line. Kicking options available now. They go to Evans. Evans, oh, he opted for the run instead. I'm not sure. Maybe he wanted to put a kicker for Raymond, but Raymond was offside. With just over 12 minutes to go now. North Queensland receive a handover.
Yeah, no, the Eels, they just walked straight through them, and it came down to the last play, and the Cowboys actually showed a bit of line speed there coming off the line defensively. There's a good run here from the forward, and the Cowboys now, they've got some fresh legs on the ground here to finish off the game. They just need to start using them and just make their way upfield here. That's a good tackle there on Snow.
Yeah, it was great forcing back there from Anthony McDonald. Nearly getting him through that to pace. Now over to Columbus. Columbus tried to get through the tackle there, a free burn, but couldn't do anything about it. Might be an early kicking option to play here. No, instead it's Snow, who realized that he was well past the 40 before he was able to put in a 40-20 attempt, so just opts to go to Cow instead. Good plan B. Wallace will go firing back for Moana. Moana is well outside the 40, but the kick is high and torpedoing, but Crimp lands it safely. Oh, Cambolo completely whiffed. One of the books is a missed tackle when you're that far out. Eventually, the coverage tackle was made there by the two initial starting halves of Moana and Wells. About 10 minutes to go here, and Parramatta by 6. Contest course, but one of the lowest scoring games I think we've seen of the SRL. Bring it over to McKay. McKay will end up forcing himself past, or nearly past about 36 out rather. He was already past the 40 by the time the tackle was made. His forward there is forced back.
Yeah, no, good stuff there. Good tackle there to end off the set there, the Cowboys, and they just need a good returning off of this kick if they want to have anything else left in this game. And
yep,
they do
Maxwell
get a
will
hit.
have one. Maxwell might be free here. Does make a man miss. Kennedy's still chasing, however. Marshall's trying to come back to cover as well. Kennedy will get there, but it will be inside the 10.
It's now or never here for the Cowboys. They're going out the back.
A chance now, Cascacow. Oh, inside ball for Armatangi. The two props forward and short there, though. Read him well. Made the stop. Wallace, short ball, left side there for Wells, but Marshall again is strong. Another opportunity. Wallace to Moana. Kennedy. Oh, he was a meter shy there. The goal line of the Eels. So strong here. Wallace. Oh, Johnson was nearly through, but again, Jordan Marshall. The amount of defensive plays that he has made is unbelievable. Wallace quickly at Moana. Moana a grab. It's over. Oh, there might be contention there. He might have been offside, but the try will be awarded. There's no review on that one. Casey Namina, his second career try, and right in front should mean that this game is going to be tied.
No bunker needed here at 1300 Smiles Stadium. Beautiful stuff here. The grubber kick there from Moana, and the big forward who's a bit fresh coming on here to finish off the game, and he just dives on us straight under the sticks. Couldn't have been any better of a place to score the try, and we're going to be tied up here, Ollie.
Absolutely. And I do look at that side-on angle, and I do think that Parramatta may have a case to answer. It seemed like Namina was in front of Moana at the time of the kick, but nonetheless, the referee was perfectly clear with it and says, all right, well, prize awarded, and with just 7 minutes and 1 second to play, and officially when Hugh Snow can celebrate tying this game. And, I mean, it was very interesting to me as well, because I was thinking to myself, I might be having a look up stats here on what's the lowest scoring game in SRL history. I mean, we've had some absolute bombers before as well. One that does come to mind is the 16-0 game last season, but the Raiders were able to win over the Eels. Only 16 combined points. We only have 16 combined points in this one so far. Who knows? There might be one team that is able to break the game open.
Oh, my God.
Oh, big shot there on Kieran Wells. That will be felt for the impact there for Luke Shaw. Namina, oh, he nearly made a botching of that one. I will say now, I can confirm this will not be the lowest combined score for a team. We did have a 14-0 victory in Season 2, I believe. The Rabbitohs defeat of the Warriors on the 8th of June to pace. So he might be over the sideline here. Krim nearly forced him back, but he kept the hips in. Moscow quickly firing back for Moana. Shoddy kick. Not sure what he was looking there. Perhaps just a 40-40. Marshall ended up receiving it. Now Farah gets an offload away for Raymond. Raymond will be forced back there. Less than 5 minutes to play, so perhaps the one-pointer is on. Forward now, over to McKay. McKay will be brought down here about 16 short of a line. Raymond firing left side for Evans. Back behind him for Kennedy. Mendonca now will be tackled about 10 out. Surely you've got to go centering run there, then go one. Raymond.
They didn't go
quite a centering run though.
Do you reckon they're too close here?
They might just be, with how little space there is. They might just look rubber here. Evans, short dives over. Less than 4 minutes to go. The captain is scored, and Parramatta might as well have stolen one there.
It's the ricochet off of a play there. It was Wallace, and he went for it, and the captain, Luke Short, just picks up the crumbs there, and straight underneath the sticks here for the captain. It had to be him, nobody else. He came back on. He's fresh here, Luke Short. Just putting the team on his back, and no need for golden point here for the Eels here by the looks of it.
Oh, you never know. It should be 6 points. Now, I will say this does also mean this will not be the lowest winning score that we've ever had in the SRL if they were to score perhaps 9 or 10, but they'll have 14 there as Raymond decides to send that as far away as he can. And it's going to be very fair because there's still on the clock. You can't get through a set in 3 minutes. You will have to give North Queensland the ball back, and you must stop the kick return. Yeah, we've known that before.
Definitely there, Ollie. And the Eels here, they just need to play conservative and nothing too fancy. We all know that they have the skills and the experience to win. As Luke Short there, the try scorer who's got them in front here, gets them underway. The Cowboys, they're going to be playing for their life here. Yeah,
we did have a graphic where he's only scored one career try. It is actually 7, and he has scored tries in 5 consecutive seasons. Exceptional work, especially from a front rower. As Raymond fires out to McKay here. They'll try and take as much clock and gain as much territory as they can, with however much time they can use here. They do have exactly 2 minutes left on the game clock now. Our attacker by Wallace basically right on halfway. Forward gets an offload away, burning more clock there. So now you've got to look for territory, and you cannot let them through. That's got to be the plan here. That's the pressure on Jordan Marshall now. His kick ends up picking out Moscow. Moscow does beat one tackle. Farah's there, but Farah is hurt, and that means time off. Farah is down with a back injury. He's going to have to come off here, and that means time off. That means they're going to have more time here in North Queensland. It might give them space for another play. 1 minute remaining now. Wallace over to Moana. Moana now to Namana. Faces off against McDonald, but he's going to be quickly stopped. North Queensland, where are they? It doesn't seem like they're anywhere. There's Armatagi though. Armatagi nearly through. Got an offload. Knocked down by Marshall into the hands of Michael Crimp, and that will do it.
Yeah, Michael Crimp there just picking up the crumbs, and Alamatangi just trying to get something going, and he got through the line and just forcing his hand, and that's unfortunate there for the Cowboys. They gave it all in. It's full time here.
Incredible victory there for Parramatta. Luke Short, last minute try really. Last 4 minutes of the game, and that ended up being the huge difference maker in this one. 14-8 the result stands. An incredible result for Parramatta. They will move them back up in the standings as well. That might actually force them into the 8 there. If they go 3-3, they'll be on 6 points. They clear North Queensland with that. Yeah,
no, definitely we're going to look at some overall stats here. Cowboys having 48% possession, 52. Sort of pretty even in stats-wise, but the possession there did really come in the Eels' favour. As we go here, we look at the Cowboys. Tatera Maxwell, 228 running metres.
Goodness.
Going stuff here. And we're going down here to Chris Lord, the captain. What a performance from him. Two tackle breaks, 3 line breaks. Very good stuff here.
25 tackles and none missed as well. Just incredible work. As we see Brody Kennedy as well, putting in the work, 18 for 214 metres with 14 tackles, 4 line breaks. Jordan Marshall as well. He did some exceptional work there, was heavily involved there, actually had the third most runs, I believe, and also clocked up 131 meters to boot as well, 40 tackles for 1 missed, and had some solid kicking game as well, 6 for 206. It's hard to really justify how good he was defensively in that one, because it was something that was really something to behold.
Yeah, no, it definitely was there. Just there was one set on the line where I think they went to him 3 times there, Ollie, and he just kept backing up, play after play, tackle after tackle, and that really did decide, the game in the end. They're holding out the Cowboys. That was probably their last actual raid there on their line. Beautiful stuff there.
Yeah, I mean, credit has to go to him, and also for the entirety of Eels side, really. They had an absolutely beautiful play from pretty much everyone around the park. Everyone did get involved in some form. Justin Barisic, 3 line breaks off of his 3 runs. Nearly everyone had a line break, actually. Only Logan Schmidt and Attila Settendark, who both only saw time in the first half, did not record line breaks. So that is impressive work there from Parramatta, basically getting everyone to try and penetrate North Queensland's line. We mentioned that it did feel like there weren't many teams. A lot of defensive work there, but Eels really turned it up there in the second half.
Yeah, no, they did, and they just took their opportunities where they were presented, and whenever they're in the red zone there, the Eels, they just capitalized on it straight away. Both teams didn't get many opportunities, and the Eels just got one too many for the Cowboys there.
Yeah, and well, I mean, we do have to turn our attention back to North Queensland, though, because there's a lot that we can really take from this game, and I feel like a lot of it did come down to how well their kicking game did under Kieran Wells, because he went 4 for 154 with his kicking meters, but Moana wasn't really getting much out of it, and it was that final kick there that did set up the Eels to score that final try, and I'm sure as one of the leaders of the Cowboys, he'll definitely be hard on himself for that one.
Yeah, no, he will. He wanted to put the team on his back and just, get them over the line there. Unfortunately, it didn't happen, and there's just some class there from the Eels noticing Alamatungi was a bit too far back there in the end goal, and they took advantage of it. It could have been anybody's game there, and as I said earlier, the Eels, they just took their opportunities when presented.
Absolutely, and full credit to both sides there. They put on an absolutely beautiful game.
What a game it was.
Yeah, just an all-time classic, really, and also do have to give credit to Chris Law there for his, again, 25 tackles. Didn't miss a single one. Incredible efficiency from him. Jamal Kasikow as well. Really was an entire second row, really, combining for, if I can do my quick math here, 65 tackles and only 2 missed, which is on the other side of Kobe Johnston, who did also contribute well for legs with runs for 120 meters and his 3 line breaks. Well, I think that's just about do it for us here at SRL TV. We'll look forward to next round. North Queensland fans, you'll be taking on South Sydney next, and the Eels will play host to the Panthers around this time. But now, 2 hours back next week at ANZ Stadium. For Eddie Oliver, Lachlan Martin, all of the SRL staff, I am Ollie Pache. We shall see you next time.